Well, welcome back to The Megan Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're ranking some of my favorite Halloween movies. The Megan Show. I've got Tier Maker loaded up with some of my favorite spooky season movies, and let's just jump right into it. First up is Hocus Pocus, one of the most iconic Halloween movies of all time, endlessly referenced, endlessly quoted. You always are going to see people dressed up as the witches for Halloween. Gosh, love that movie. So many iconic moments from it. Stands the test of time. All of that to say, of course, it is an S tier movie. Halloween Town. I'm repping a Halloween Town shirt right now. Classic 90s Disney movie. Kimberly J. Brown, Debbie Reynolds. Amazing movie that they, of course, made several sequels. But that first Halloween Town, I think it came out when I was like a really young kid. The oldest daughter, Marnie, of course, was like a little bit older than me, looking up to her. What a fun world they created with that movie. Love it. Again, gotta go with S tier. There's probably gonna be a lot of bias here, of course. These are some of my favorite movies, so I just have to rank them how I feel. So that is how I feel. Next up is Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice from the 80s, I think, 88, 89, something like that. Of course, again, one of the other most iconic Halloween movies of all time. Michael Keaton as the titular character, the crazy man Beetlejuice. Of course, young Winona Ryder, and of course, Geena Davis and Alec Baldwin making their great performances. Catherine O'Hara, all of them. That first movie is wacky, insane, all of the different effects, the practical effects, so interesting, so cool. Kind of scared me as a kid, to be honest. Some of like the sandworm, scary, but obviously stands the test of time. Really cool movie. Tim Burton, always doing something crazy. Of course, S tier again. Okay, let's see what else. Addams Family, the Addams Family from the 90s. Of course, they had Addams Family Values. I'll get to the second one here in a minute. I think I'm gonna actually go as Morticia Addams for Halloween, so definitely stay tuned later this month. Planning to do like a little tutorial on my Morticia Addams look, so definitely stay tuned for that. The iconic 90s movie, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci as Wednesday, all of those characters, such a wacky family again. Such an interesting, like crazy concept of a movie, and really fun. Watched it as a kid, grew up with most of these movies, of course, that's how they made them to this list. So Addams Family, we're going 4 in a row here, S tier. Okay, but here's where the S tier is gonna stop for a moment, because the next up is Miss Coraline. Now, that came out when I was like in middle school maybe, and genuinely scared me. I chose this photo because the parents with the buttons eyes, nope. And for some reason that like animation style also like creeped me out as a kid. So I know it's iconic for some people, and like it is iconic like in the pop culture, of course, but for me, it's gonna have to go to a C. We'll maybe reevaluate everything at the end, but I'm gonna have to put Miss Coraline down at C. Okay, next up is Freaky with Kathryn Newton and Vince Vaughn. That just came out a few years ago. Miss Kathryn Newton has just solidified herself as a scream queen. She shows up another time on my list here. But that movie's just kind of fun. It's a, like body swap or consciousness swap type of movie. It's kind of funny and interesting, and I kind of liked it. I mean, let's see. It's feeling like A or B to me. Maybe I'll put it at B for now. Okay, I've got the Saw movies next. For some reason, the Saw movies were on TV a lot when I was a kid. I don't know why. I grew up with TV in my bedroom, and of course TV in the living room, watching TV all the time. My parents did not like put strict rules on what you can and can't watch, what time you got to stop watching. We didn't have any of that. So I was watching Saw as a young child. Not good. Definitely scarred me. All of the crazy freaking contraptions that Homeboy put them in was just very scary as a child. Obviously, it's extremely gory. I don't know what was going on there, but I don't think I sat there and watched them start to finish as a kid, but I'd see bits and pieces and like kind of, you know, one of those things where so creepy you can't look away. So, but of course, again, they are iconic in the horror genre. What you're not going to see is a lot of the like truly iconic horror kind of franchises, Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason. I did not grow up watching those. Of course, young girl into frilly girly stuff, was not into horror movies. Like, even though Saw and another one is on here, that's kind of doesn't make any sense, but I did not grow up watching those traditional like scary movie horror characters. So those ones are not going to be on the list, but the Saw movies did make it on the list because I just have such vivid memories of watching them when I was 10, 12, 14 years old and being very frightened. So, okay, where are we going to put Saw at? I don't know. B, C, B or C. I don't know, maybe I'll put them at B. Let's just put it at B for right now. Okay, Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton classic, the very cool animation style, Jack Skellington, very iconic characters. Also love the Pumpkin King song, you know, great childhood movie. Of course, a classic. You always are going to see people dressed up as them for Halloween. I think that might be our A tier. We're going to put that at A. Okay, this next one, buddy, let me tell you. The Little Vampire, freaking little Disney movie from when I was about 5 years old. No joke. You heard it here first. That vampire was my first crush. And that is just such a cute movie. I think I'm going to have to put that at A. Do y'all remember that one? I think it's from like 2000. Very, very cute. Okay, Twitches. Now let's take a moment to talk about Tia and Tamara, iconic twin sisters, ran Disney Channel at this time, of course with Sister Sister before that. They are amazing. Twitches was perfect. A perfect movie for when I was that young age, already looked up to Tia and Tamara, and then they had a Halloween movie about them being twins, the sun and the moon. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely yes. Twitches 2, good memories too with that one, but I just put the first Twitches on here. With the like shadow, they had the shadow thing that was like the evil being. I can't remember all the details, but Twitches, love that one. Very, very cute Halloween movie. I think we're gonna have to put that at A. Next one is Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. Now, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think the second one was where they turned Halloween Town gray, and like Debbie Reynolds and that other character, I can't think of his name, were like looking through socks. The guy that had the like house that was like a hoarder house, or it was, his house was where Lost and Found, like everything lost went there, something like that. And they're like sorting through socks and they're like living their little normal people life because they had the spell put on them to be all gray and not fun in Halloween. I think that's the second one. Great follow-up to the first one. Another character I love from Halloween Town is the Benny Bones, I think Benny, yeah, the, you know, taxi driver skeleton classic. Those effects in those movies are so funny. Like the scenes where they had the guys in the like saunas, like personal saunas, and they'd be like big ghosts, and after the sauna they'd be all skinny, like just cute. With all that said, Halloween Town 2, I think I'm going to go ahead and put that up at A. Okay, next one is Halloween Town High, the third one. That one was kind of a cute spin, I think. You know, everybody's getting older and older. Now they're in high school, and they added some new characters. A couple of people from High School Musical, I'm pretty sure, actors. I liked the high school setting. I liked the kind of big carnival like stuff that they had, keeping themselves hidden. It was interesting. But not as iconic as the first two, I don't think. So I'm gonna put it at B, and I'm not including Halloween Town 4 on this list where they recast Miss Kimberly. We're not having that. Also, shouting out to the fact that she married Calabar, like in real life. That's so cute that they stayed together, met on that movie in the 90s, on all of those movies, and have stayed together for freaking like 20 some years and are married. Love, love that. That is so cute. Okay. Addams Family Values, the second Addams Family, iconic, where they've got the Thanksgiving play scene outside with Wednesday. Great. I think that's the Joan Cusack one. Absolutely iconic character. Amazing. I think that is going to have to go with A. Definitely A tier. Okay, the next one is the other like truly, like horror franchise that I have on the list, and it is Final Destination. Similar to Saw, for some reason, Final Destination played on regular TV a lot as a kid when I was a kid. And so I have seen all of them. Obviously, the kills and the way people die in such freak accidents in Final Destination are a little hokey and silly looking. Especially like the one I always think of is the girl that's like a gymnast. She's like doing uneven bars and like doing all this stuff. And she like jumps and just like crumples to the ground and just like falls and dies like in such a crazy way. Obviously, there's tons of crazy deaths in Final Destination. Also, that's the cultural impact it had, where no one wants to be behind a log truck because of the second movie where, the log truck caused the big pile up. That is from Final Destination. The roller coaster one, the plane one. I'm trying to think what the other themes are for each one, but very iconic franchise. I'll still watch them today if they come on TV. So I think I'm gonna have to put that up at A, to be honest. Okay, now we've got Beetlejuice that just came out this year, the sequel to the original 30-something years later, and I'm gonna have to say it was not up to par. I mean, it was interesting visually. They did a really good job of like, the waiting room with all of the people. You can tell like how they died with their different, their costumes and stuff. That was interesting, and a callback to how the way it used to look in the first one. I thought that was pretty cool. The storylines, there were just so many plot lines, so many different little storylines that didn't have like a satisfying payoff. It was a cute movie, I enjoyed it, but everything just felt pretty rushed. Like all of the storylines were rushed, crammed together, and I don't know, it just didn't hit quite as high as the original. So I'm honestly gonna have to go ahead and put it, well, I was gonna put it a D. I feel like that's slightly too harsh. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at D for now. Okay, this next one is Lisa Frankenstein that came out earlier this year. Super cute movie. I absolutely loved it. Cole Sprouse, love seeing him. And again, this is Kathryn Newton, that she was in that Freaky movie. She's been in several, I think, kind of like scary movies, so good for her. Absolutely love her. I think she played that role super well. Cole Sprouse, very, very cute. Thought the movie was such a cute, like, kind of like teeny movie, and I loved it at 28 years old, so I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and put that at A. All right, back to the 90s. A 90s classic when I was a kid was Casper Meets Wendy with Hilary Duff. Love Hilary Duff. I don't remember the timeline she looks pretty young, so I feel like this was right before, Lizzie McGuire. I'll have to double check my facts on that one, but super cute. Loved seeing her. I honestly have not seen that movie probably since I was a really young kid, so I don't have like extremely vivid memories of how the whole movie went. I just know I loved it because she was in it. So I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and put that at B. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Talk about a classic. Absolute classic. Tim Curry playing that role. I have watched Rocky Horror locally in my college, like watching them put on the production, watching another kind of like semi-pro theater do this production. A classic Halloween movie. Just crazy characters, really, really interesting. Very big cultural impact, especially in the queer community. Absolutely love it. I think that's gonna have to go ahead and be an S tier movie. Like, it's truly iconic. I can't wait to see that on TV whenever I do next. Okay, I think the very last movie on this list is the Hocus Pocus sequel that came out a couple of years ago. Again, with Beetlejuice in my mind, it definitely did not reach the caliber as the original. Now, of course, it's being for a new audience. This is especially the case with the Hocus Pocus sequel. It's kind of reintroducing Hocus Pocus to kids that have literally never heard of it, did not grow up with it, did not grow up with the original. So I think Hocus Pocus 2 was maybe a little bit better than the Beetlejuice sequel. I'm gonna put it at C because it had a cute, like, kitty kind of concept. So I think it probably went over well, or I would imagine it would have went over well with kind of like the right age demographic. and hit that mark and was good for them. But for me, it just did not absolutely meet the marks that I wanted it to, but it was a cute movie overall. Okay, here's our list. Let's now take a look, see if we want to move anything. In S tier, Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, Beetlejuice, Addams Family, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. A tier, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Little Vampire, Twitches, Halloween Town 2, Addams Family Values, this is Final Destination. Final Destination movies, and Lisa Frankenstein. In B, we have Freaky, Saw franchise, Halloween Town High, and Casper Meets Wendy. In C, Coraline and Hocus Pocus 2. And in D, we've got Beetlejuice. These are just at the bottom extra photos of the movies we already had. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna stick with this ranking. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think. That is going to wrap it up for today's video. I thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know how you would rank these movies and if you have any other movies you think I should have put on this list. But I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.